Good morning. And I could lend a smile if you would stay a while. Sorry. You guys, I don't know what happened. Yo, technology has been really trying to get me the last few days. And I just been like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. You guys, I was like, wait a minute, what happened? That was interesting. But listen, good morning. Good morning. It is definitely a Tuesday. I'm up, Adam. Living this life, feeling good. I feel really good today. I have gotten all my rest from this weekend. This weekend was so eventful. Between Super Bowl and step competition, that wasn't really a competition, but stepping and all the good things, it was fun. Okay? Very eventful, very fun. Just a good time. My cameras have been acting all crazy, y'all. It's been a great morning. I'm telling you, things have been happening, but baby, my attitude has been so amazing when it comes down to all these things happening. Y'all seen the music go all the way up. I was like, hey, it is what it is. We just keep on rolling, right? That's life. Life is gonna life, and we just gonna keep on doing what we gotta do to get to where we need to go. Good morning, TikTok. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, y'all. Come on in here. We're talking about expectations. This is such a very just amazing, delicious, and yummy conversation, you guys. Because listen, a lot of the times when I get on here to talk about things, you guys, I don't know if y'all know this or not, but God will be like, listen, you're going to talk about that struggle you had. Remember back in 2007 when you were struggling with that? I'm going to need you to get on there and talk about that today. And I'd be like, God, I be telling all my business. Like, all the struggles, everything that I went through was not in vain. Everything that I went through was not just for me, but it's for somebody else as well. And God be like, listen, you're going to get on there and tell that story today. Let me introduce myself. I'm Brittany Wilder. I didn't introduce myself in my last video, y'all, but I'm Brittany Wilder. I am a wealth and wellness energy healer, and I specialize and help ambitious women align their energy so that they can attract and achieve their wellness, their wealth, and their weight loss goals. Okay? That's it. That's me in a nutshell. That's what I do. I do that by doing all kinds of things from hypnotherapy, neurolinguistic programming, coaching. I do sound bowl healing. I do all the things, timeline therapy, and then just spiritual coaching in general. And that really is just coming into alignment with God, higher power, whoever you believe in, and allowing whatever messages that, God sends my way to just come out in the midst of our coaching. So that is me in a nutshell. That's what we do. That's what I do on my channel each and every morning. If you're new here, hello and welcome. Welcome. I get on each and every morning. I talk about a topic that God has put on my heart to share. And today it is about expectations, you guys, and really releasing expectations. Because what is happening a lot of the times, and I told you guys we're focused in on relationships this week because it's good old Valentine's Day week, right? Friday's Valentine's Day. Everybody falling in love. Everybody want a relationship. Everybody want all the things. So everything is targeted this week towards relationships for the most part. That's what's been coming up for me, right? For a reason, right? So I am focused in on that. So when God was giving me this wonderful conversation this morning, a lot came up about past relationships and expectations and things that I had. And I don't know about you guys, but I used to do this thing back in the days. It used to get me caught up all the time, especially in relationships and in friendships as well, is I used to expect myself from other people. Man, put a purple heart in the chat if you used to expect yourself from other people, right? You got a big heart. You give all you can. You do all you can. When it's your best friend, your friends, when it's even your family, y'all, even some of our family, I have expected things that I would do for my family that I would do immediately. Your viewers are sharing your life. Thank you guys. Thank you for sharing. Love you guys. Thank you for the hearts and love. But I would expect things, and I know that for me, it was really big, like with my family. Like I would do all kinds of different things, whether it was, you know, give money to borrow or just show up, just show the fuck up for you, right? Be there, be supportive, be on point, just be an active individual in your family and support you in whatever your endeavors are, right? Even right now, y'all, my family will be like, oh, this is going on in my life. This is what's going on. That's what's going on. And I'll repost on my page. I'll repost on my social media because it's love. No, I don't expect you to repost the things that I got going on because that just isn't my expectation anymore. I used to expect it, right? I used to think that because I had something amazing going on in my life, I had something life-changing, groundbreaking going on in my life, that my family would be the first people to support me and throw, you know, and send it off and share it and all the things. And that hasn't always been the case. And I've gotten over that, right? But it's the expectations that I used to have. That was the problem, right? The problem is expecting yourself from others, and that's not always the case. The problem is thinking that somebody has your back the way that you got theirs. And that's not always the case. One, because people don't know how to be good friends. People don't have good morals, good values. People don't have the same heart that you do. Let me say that one again. People don't have the same heart that you do, boo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a hard lesson that I had to learn too. And let me just share with you. My big-hearted people, my empaths, the people who care a lot. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. I see you guys coming in. Share this. Share this if you can, because it's real. The people do not have the same heart that you do. They don't have the same morals, the same values. They don't believe in the same things that you do. They grew up differently. They were taught differently. They learned lessons differently. They learned some things differently. And so here they are challenged. Yeah, my light is not popping like it normally does. What is happening today? And so here they are out in this world, and you're being you, giving all your heart, giving your all, giving all your energy, right? Because that's how you live. That's who you are. That's ultimately the person that you are. And you're expecting the person that you are to show up in front of you and be that person right back to you. And that is not always the case. And a lot of the times we have this expectation for that to happen, and it falls by the wayside more often than not. There have been very few people that I've met in this world that have a similar heart as me, that give just as much, whether it is financial or just emotionally or just showing up. Some people don't even know how to show up for you. You expect them to be there. You expect them to show up on your best days, your biggest moments, right? Right? And I can be honest about this. This is 9 months ago when I had my book released 9 months ago. I think it was 9 months, maybe 10 months now. Almost a year ago, right? We'll be real. Had my book release, and I expected for so many people that I've been telling about my book release, right, to show up and show out for me. And a lot of people didn't show up. Like, I mean, a lot. A lot of people that I was like, oh yeah, they about to be there. They about to show up. They about to be holding it down for me. They gonna buy a book. Right? Let's just be real. Right? Good morning, Britt. Like, I even thought people were going to buy a book from me that still ain't bought a book, y'all. My book done been out almost a year. It's coming up on a year real quick. Was it 4 months? Right? My book been out. It's coming up on a year real quick. People still ain't bought a book. Still ain't supported. Still ain't. But that is the problem when we expect ourselves from others. Right? Because anybody that knows me and that rocks with me and I rock with them, baby, I am that friend that is going to show up to your things. Listen, I am going to show up and show out for you. Oh, wait, you graduated? Okay, let me drive down to Savannah. Oh, wait, I'm going to spend the night. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I got something in the morning. I'm going to figure it out. Don't worry. I'm going to show up for you. It's my 30th birthday. Yay. Happy birthday, boo. Listen, I'm going to show up for you. That's what it is, right? No matter what. It doesn't matter. If I rock with you, I love you. I hold it down for you. I call you my friend because my friends know that they're my family. I'm going to hold it down for you. I promise I'm going to try. And if I'm not trying, then there's a problem. Like, it really ain't that deep. is what that is. Because I show up for my people. You tell me, oh, I'm going through this, da-da-da, I'm going to pray for you. You tell me, oh, I got this event and this event coming up, can you come out? I'm going to come and support you. Even if I'm only there for an hour, 2 hours, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm showing up. Right? But that's the expectation that I have on myself. I have high expectations for myself. So if you're in my inner circle, right? Because we have different types of friends and different types of loved ones. If you're in my inner circle, I have a high expectation for you as well. Because you're in my inner circle for a reason. Right? Yeah, absolutely. But the expectations that we put on relationships, right? Because I said we're going to talk about relationships, y'all, because y'all want to talk about it. That was the request in my DM, is that we talking about relationships this week because of Valentine's Day. Everybody want to be in love. And I think it's amazing. Love is amazing. But listen, you guys are putting expectations on your significant others. You're expecting them to be these people that they are not. You're expecting them to do these things that they have no capacity to do, if we want to be honest, right? And I really just think that it's a conversation, right? If we talk about love, if we talk about being in a relationship, we talk about what does that look like? If we talk about we're dating and making a decision to where we can get in a relationship, well, what are those conversations that we're talking about in the midst of that? So that I know what the expectation is, right? Because a lot of the times we come to the table with our own expectations. We ain't had a conversation with nobody. We just like, oh yeah, this is a great guy. So surely he's gonna invite you to be a co-host. Oh. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Sorry, TikTok, I don't know what that is. I don't know about no co-host. I don't do co-host on my page. Sorry, y'all. I don't do that on my page. It's all love. Love you guys, but I just don't. Because I like to talk about different things here. Now, you can always request for me to be on yours if that's what you do on your platform. But I don't. We have a conversation. You can definitely put stuff in the comments. I read them, whatever the case may be. That sort of thing. And then I do a mini sound bowl healing session each morning. That's kind of how my platform is set up. But thank you, though. I appreciate it. I'm flattered that you wanted to, co-host and all the above. I really am. But listen, you guys, we put these expectations on, our significant others, on our people that we're in a relationship with. We put all these expectations on them, and sometimes they don't even know. Y'all ain't had a conversation. We ain't said, if we, live together, I expect you to pay 100% of the rent, and I got the utility bills. Or if we, are in a relationship, I expect you to pay for when we go out and about. I don't want to have to, pull out my wallet, right? I'm thinking about all the ones that I've heard of that are so common, right? Or there's some people that, in our relationship, we split everything down 50-50. That's cool, right? You get to decide on what works for your relationship. Let me just say that. You get to decide, right? You decide on what works best for you and your person. You don't let society decide. You don't let your homegirls or your homeboys decide. You don't let your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your whoever decide. You get to decide what those expectations are for you in your relationship, right? And you decide that based on what works best for you and your partner, right? That's why they say there's a lot of things that should be sacred in a relationship. I agree with that. There's a lot of things that should be sacred in a relationship when it comes down to y'all's finances. Not everybody and their mama need to know about what's going on in your household. Correct. I know some of y'all agree with me on that. Absolutely. Not everybody needs to know about what's going on in your household, right? Some things are sacred when you're in a relationship. And we're talking about relationships because it is the week of Valentine's Day, right? And some of us are in relationships. Things are happening. And so that's what we're talking about it. God put that on my heart. We're talking about it. Right? You can't let society and the world and everybody else dictate what goes on in your relationship. Dictate what your expectations are for your partner. But you also can't assume that your partner knows your expectations when you haven't even used your mouth to tell them what you expect from them in a relationship. Hello, somebody. These are conversations that need to happen in a dating situation. When I'm dating you and I'm vetting you, right? A lot of the times we're dating people and we dating people, let's be honest, y'all. Let's be honest. I can be honest about this. I was doing this a few years ago. when I started dating again. We're dating like we still in middle school and high school. Right? Wasn't it so easy in middle school and high school, y'all? I like you, you like me, you want to go out? Heck yeah. Okay, you my boyfriend, you my girlfriend now. We together. Send a note. Will you go out with me? Yes, no, maybe. Check. Easy, right? It was easy back then to find somebody to like, right? To find somebody that was on your level, because we was all broke. Right? We was all broke. We was all living at our mama's house. We all on the same playing field when we were in high school and middle school, right? Most of us anyway. So it was easy to date. It was just honestly like, oh, you like me, I like you. Okay, cool. All right, let's date. Here we go. All right, boo. So easy, right? But here we are in our 30s. Well, I'm in my 30s. I don't know where y'all at. I'm well in my mid-30s, getting ready to move on into them late 30s. If you know, like I know, I'm on the other side. 36, hallelujah. I know I look 25. It's okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yep. But listen, you guys. These days, dating is a little difficult, right? Depending on what it's you're looking for, what your expectations are, what you desire in a significant other, right? Things are different these days, right? Our expectations have changed, as they should. As you get older, as you start to want different things. Yeah, I'm sorry, I gotta stretch my legs out. Y'all know my little leg will die in a minute. But as we are looking for certain things in our relationships, we want to accomplish certain things in our lives. We want to do all these different things, right? Expectations change, and that's okay. They're supposed to. Now, the problem is sometimes we have these wild, crazy expectations. These out the space, like what is even going on expectations, right? We can be honest. Some of us, we have these really crazy high expectations for this and that, and I need my husband to I don't even know. I've heard so many crazy things and seen so many crazy things, like so many crazy things that I'm like, okay, all right, let's be a little more realistic, right? Be a little bit more realistic. I'm not saying drop all them standards all the way down, because surely we need standards. They're important. But I am saying being realistic about, what you expect out of a partner, right? And if you have those high expectations for a partner, you need to have those high expectations for your fucking self. And that's where the problem lies, is that a lot of people got these high expectations for their significant other, and they don't even put their own selves on that high expectation. Right? He need to have a job. He need to do this. He need to have, aspirations and goals, and he needs to da-da-da-da-da. And I'm talking about women specifically, because I've heard it from friends and homegirls, and I'm just like, interesting. He need to do this. He need to da-da-da-da. He need to pay for this. He need to da-da-da-da. And I'm like, and what you doing, sis? Well, I just want to, where's your goals? Where's your aspirations? Where's your, at least let it be the same standards, right? At least have some goals for yourself, some standards for yourself, some aspirations for yourself, some things going on for yourself, if you want somebody that has something going on for themselves, right? It only makes sense, right? To me anyway. But that's me. I may be a little different. I may be a little old school with this. This whole, I don't even know what the culture is in this dating world that these men are getting burnt by, with these city girls out here dating, buy me a Birkin bag, all that. Like, this is weird. Like, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. First off, I've been on my own since I was 16 years old. I have never needed a man to do for me at all. Right? That's how I was made. That's what I learned through my experiences in life. And so when I started dating, that's how I dated. Like, I don't need nobody. I don't da-da-da-da. And then I started learning, like, well, I do want that companionship. I do want somebody. I do want somebody who got my back if I need it. But I'm not out here like, no, you need to pay for this. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to fly me out. You need to whoop-de-whoop. You need to. That's that city girl stuff. That's that culture, right? It's a different culture these days with dating. And I was married for a long time, so I didn't have to deal with the dating culture shifting. I was in the dating scene when things were still good. People still had good morals and values. People weren't trying to get over before you get over, right? Because that's what it feels like. I've talked to a lot of friends who are dating right now, and the thing that they say is that, there's no trust. People are scared and are fearful that you're trying to get over on them, so they try to get over on you first, right? Hey, let me know if that's not what you're dealing with in this dating world if you're dating. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if that's not what you're dealing with. But that is what I've been seeing, right? And so that whole having these outlandish expectations is what's really driving like the dating scene and the culture to be the way that it is. And also the other thing that I want to share, because this is what's going to really maybe shake some people up or make some people feel some type of way, which is fine because, you know, I don't care either way. I'm going to say what I want to say. If you know me by now, you know I'm going to say what I want to say no matter what. The thing about expectations, a lot of the times, right? We have expectations on people. We have expectations on our jobs, expectations on all kinds of things, right? We're putting these high expectations on people that don't have the capacity, lack the capacity to even do half of what we expect them to do, right? I think it's really a conversation about being honest with yourself. Being honest with yourself, having that conversation with your significant other, just to be like, hey, you know, what do you expect of me? And this is what I expect of you if we plan to be together. If we're dating and we're, you know, dating, these are some expectations that I have for our family. These are some expectations that I have for our foundation. These are some expectations that I have. What do you have? It really is having that conversation. I feel like we don't have those conversations enough. And then we have these high expectations. And then we get into these relationships. We get into these marriages. And then shit falls apart. And then we're broken and we're hurt because we expected somebody to do something that we never even told them that we expected them to do. That's what's going on. The other thing that I found is that with expectations, y'all, because this is why we're talking about this, because God was like, listen, you got to speak about it because this is what you went through in your marriage. This is what you went through in your marriage. There were a lot of times in my marriage, you guys, where I would have that conversation, right? Because I was very vocal. I was very vocal about what I needed, what I expected, what I wanted to happen. I was very vocal about that. But due to the challenges that my husband was dealing with at the time, he wasn't able to give me what I needed, right? And I, unfortunately, because of the stuff that I had going on, in the beginning of our relationship, I was grieving. Anybody who knows my story knows that I ended up dating my ex-husband at a time that was very challenging for me. Within our first 3 months, I went through heavy grief. I lost my grandmother, my mother, and my granny all within a couple of months of each other. And so I was dealing with severe, heavy grief, right? And so the expectations that I had for him at that time, because of what I was going through, was so intense, so sad, so depressive, so you name it, it was bad, right? My only expectation, you guys are about to laugh when I say this, my only expectation for him at that time was to make me happy. Just make me happy. Keep me distracted from being sad. Keep me away from being sad. What did that mean? That was the bare minimum. Bare minimum. Making me smile is the bare minimum. It was the bare minimum. And sometimes we've gone through some traumatic stuff, or sometimes we're in the midst of a traumatic season, right? Where we're just like, if you can just make me happy, I'm fine with that. But no, you're worthy of so much more than just somebody making you happy. You're worthy of so much more than just the bare minimum, sis, bruh, whoever, right? You're worthy of so much more, but you can't see past that because you're in a space of hurt. You're in a space of pain. You're in a space of grief. Who am I talking to? I wasn't able to see past that. All I was receiving out of this relationship was the bare minimum. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the sparks flying, the most amazing thing that I've ever been in to where I feel like I want to marry you. No, it was safe. It was safe. I got married because it was the safest route. I'd gone through so many different relationships where I had men who were cheaters, men who were manipulators, liars. And this man approached me, and he had a good heart, and he really liked me. Like, really liked me, right? And I had never had anybody who was like, really like, I really like your ass, right? Like, I know it's sad to say, but it's my truth. And I stand on it, right? I never had anybody who really was like, I really like you. I never had anybody that said, I love you first. I was like, this man said love. It's only been a few months. This is nuts. Like, what does this mean? I got one. Hang on to it, right? And you hear these things in society. You hear these things from your homegirls, your homeboys, your mama, your aunties. Marry the one that loves you the most, right? I know somebody's heard that. Woo! I know you heard it. I don't know where you heard it from, right? But it's that whole, you marry the person that likes you the most, right? So if they show more interest in you than you do in them, that's a winner. They'll never hurt you. They'll never break you. They'll never, I'm here to say that's a fucking lie. Hey sis, hey, what's up? How you doing? Good morning. But yeah, it's a lie. It's a lie, y'all. Do not believe the hype. Marry the one, and I'm going to tell you who to marry, because y'all going to be like, oh, heck no. Marry the person who challenges you to be the best you possible, right? Marry the person who, when you talk to them, you learn something new each and every time you talk to them. You're literally learning. Where's my coffee? You got to get it. Get your hot drink. That's what we here doing. I got tea in here. Get you a hot drink now and come on and talk about it. Marry the person who challenges you to be your best person. The best person that you could ever be. That person's going to challenge you and will. And good. Good. Because that's what God made relationships for. Some of us think God made relationships and marriage for just sex and whatever. No, God made relationships for us to become better, for us to evolve, for us to deal with that past trauma, deal with those triggers we have going on from our mommy issues and our daddy issues. Hello, somebody? Can somebody be real with me today? Right? That's what relationships were for, to make each other better. And I'm sorry, but I can be honest. There have been very few situationships, very few relationships that I have been in that somebody has made me better. Just want to throw that out there for somebody who is like me, who is an intelligent woman, super intelligent, super in tune, super loving, big heart, all the above. Grow stronger together. That's right. Yes. Grow stronger together. Amen. Yes, that's what it's about. There have been very few relationships that I've been in where I was the one that was made better as well in the process. And that's a sure sign that something's wrong here. Something's not right. There's no balance there. You putting more in than that person's putting in. And that was exactly my case. I want you guys to pay attention to that as you go on these dates for Valentine's Day, as you start dating, getting back in the dating scene, as you start, even as in your relationship right now, in your marriage right now. If you're not feeling like that person is making you better and you're not making them better, because iron sharpens iron, right? We're here to make each other better. We're here to grow better together, right? Right? If that's not happening in your situationship, in your relationship, in your dating, right? Because that person should even have a little bit of an impact on you as you're dating them, as you're vetting them to see if they're a good fit for your life moving forward, right? Because that's what we're doing in dating, right? I hope we're vetting people. I hope we're vetting them before we even go out on a date. I hope we're talking to them, having different conversations, seeing if that person's moral compass matches with yours. If that person has a good heart that matches with yours. Hear me when I say we're doing that in dating, in the dating scene, right? I hope. I can only hope and pray that that's what we're doing in our dating scene, right? As you're doing that, you got to look for those signs. You got to pay attention. You got to be intentional about the conversations you're having. You got to have the expectation conversation. This is what I expect out of my husband. This is what I saw our life to look like. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like that's something that you can uphold? Right? Well, for me, to be honest, I saw my husband paying for all the bills. Do you think that that's something that you can uphold? Be honest. Do you think that where you're at right now in your life, career-wise, you think that's something that you can uphold? There's nothing wrong with asking the questions. Baby, ask the questions. I'd rather ask all the questions up front and you to tell me no than for me to assume and to have expectations on you that you could never live up to. Who am I talking to? Somebody need to go home tonight and have a conversation with their husband, with their wife, with their boyfriend, with their girlfriend, with their fiance. Baby, this is what I'm expecting out of our relationship. Can you hold that down? What do you think? I'm expecting you to be openly, emotionally. I'm expecting you to love me. I'm expecting you to show up for me the way that I show up for you. Nah, I'm going to retire. Right. Like what, like, okay, baby, look, right. We're talking about all the different things, right? Everybody's life looks different. It's different. Whatever works for you, but you got to decide what works for you. You got to have that conversation. You can't assume that person is going to just sit there and agree with you and assume because they have a good heart. Yeah, they have a good heart, but they got things going on in their life too. You can't assume anything. You can't have expectations for anything if you haven't had that conversation. That's all I'm saying. I'm bringing awareness to expectations and how we have high expectations sometimes on people who don't have the capacity to do any of that. He said, I'm going to go sit on my back porch. Listen, we have these expectations and people are lacking the capacity. And if you know you have a high expectation and this person is not going to be able to give you the things that you desire in a relationship, you are free to move on at any given time. Move on, because it's going to be a hurtful situation. You're going to expect something out of them. They not about to do it. You're going to be hurt. You're going to keep asking them to do it. They going to say, yeah, okay, I'm going to try to do it. I'm going to keep trying. I can only try. You're going to check in a month later. They ain't going to do the shit. Speaking from experience. You're going to check in 3 months later. You're going to have another harsh conversation, right? Especially if you're married. My married folk. I have to have another hard conversation. Like, listen, when I signed up for this, I thought this. Okay, let's work it out. Let's do that. Let's start a plan. You're going to start the plan. Things start getting better for a little while, and then they go back. Who am I talking to? I know how this goes. It doesn't end well. High expectations for people who lack the capacity to give you what you need for whatever reason, right? People got their own mess. A lot of the times people have their own mess that they haven't cleaned up before getting with you. So then they get with you, and the mess starts to come out in the midst of being with somebody, right? That's when you start to really see the real person. Because you're challenging them. That's what relationships are for. You're challenging them to become their best selves. Well, you got to understand, but this is the most I have ever heard you talk. Loving it. I'm cracking up. Listen, that's because you ain't been on. Now, Brittany Wilder talks all the time. All the time. I talk all the time. Look, they know if you on my YouTube channel, Instagram. But it's good that you're able to hear me talk about these things, right? Good that you're able to step in today and be here and be present today. You guys, listen. We're not doing that this year. We got to have those conversations. Got to have those conversations. Got to talk about it. Got to talk about it. Okay? I know personally it's not the route you want to go to, especially if you have high expectations for a relationship and for a marriage. Some of you guys have high expectations on your boyfriends and your girlfriends to get married. And they don't even want to do that. Woo! I know. I didn't mean to step on y'all toes, but some of y'all have these high expectations to get married, and your boyfriend, your girlfriend, they don't want to get married. But you steady talking about marriage, and you not picking up the hint yet. Be intentional about your conversations in the dating scene. And know that if that person lacks the capacity to give you what it is you want, what it is you need, what it is you desire, leave them. Let me say that again. When you start to recognize that this person lacks the capacity to give you what you desire, you know the desires of your hearts. You know the visions that God put on you that you would be a wife. Those visions of having kids. This person may not want to have kids. And it's flat out told you, fuck them kids, respectfully, right? Like, come on. But you think that because you loving on them and you giving them all of you, they're going to change their minds. That's not how it goes, babe. It's not how it goes. And I know women, all I know is the woman's perspective because I know how I used to think. If I just give him enough love, if I just show him I'm down for him, if I just show him that how his life could be like if I was his wife, then maybe that'll change his heart. Maybe that'll make him, who am I speaking to? It's not how it goes. It's not how it goes. Right? You can't force somebody to be ready for something that you're ready for when they're not ready for it. There's a lot of stuff going on in people's lives. There's a lot of stuff that they're dealing with, that they are dealing with because they haven't fully dealt with or fully processed some things from their past. So because they haven't done the work, the personal work to heal their heart, the personal work to heal their fear of relationships, right? Because a lot of the times that's what it is with men. They were hurt one time by Keisha. You know Keisha. Everybody know Keisha, right? Keisha done broke his heart. Done broke this man down. Keisha done ran this man. Done ran with other men through the city. Done broke this man's heart. Now this man don't trust no female at all because of Keisha ass. You can thank Keisha for the reason why your man don't want to get married, right? You can thank Keisha. Everybody know Keisha, right? But listen, for real, I know I play around a lot, you guys, but for real, there's some past trauma, past hurts, there's some fears. There's some fears. And there's fears in women too. It's not just men. We have fears too, don't we, ladies? Where we've been hurt, right? I tell you guys before, when I came out of my divorce, I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing this ever again. Like, I'm one and done. We're good. I don't got to get married ever again if this is how it ends. I'm good, right? But that was my fear. Fear. Because who wants to go through a traumatic situation? Who wants the person who they loved more so than anything in the world to turn around and treat them like they were nothing after that this person did everything for you? Who wants to go through that? That's not a good feeling. That doesn't make me feel like I want to be married again or I want to go through meeting anybody again. I was done with men. Like, completely. Like, I don't want an emotional connection. There's nothing you can do for me. I was done. Burnt out. Sad. Broken. Right? And I thank God for wanting to go through the process of healing. Healing. And if you're in Atlanta and you need some healing from those past traumas, those past hurts, come to Manifesting Sister Circle. My ladies. Speaking to my ladies. Y'all know that's who I coach. My ladies, you dealing with some stuff. You struggling to move past. You struggling. You anxious about Valentine's Day coming up on Friday. And your date that you got with Joe Schmo, who's in and out of your life, inconsistent, says he want to be with you, says you a great woman, you amazing, you everything that he could ever want in a woman, but won't tie you down. Don't want to be your man friend. Don't want to be your romantic partner. He just want to kick it. Take things slow. Take it easy. See how things go. Y'all know all the conversations. I don't need to say them. Y'all know. Y'all know. Y'all know what men I'm talking about. The ones that be like, oh, but you're everything though. But you're such an amazing woman. But I think that, right now I just don't got the time. But you got the time to kick it with me. Who am I talking to? Be intentional about your conversations and your expectations, ladies. Come to Manifesting Sister Circle. We're going to get rid of all of that so that you can move forward. And you can become intentional about what you do moving forward with dating. What you do moving forward with your career. What you do moving forward with your life in general. Right? Because if there's any aspect of your life right now that you're living that you're not happy about, you have the power to change it, right? You have the power to explore that. And get curious. Well, why am I not happy at my job? But I went to school for 4 years for this degree to have this job. And, well, guess what? My mom told me that this would be a good career. Did I really want to do this? It's not the desires of your heart. You did it because it would be a good career and you would always have a job and you could get paid for it. But that's not really what you want to do. So now you're miserable in your career that you've been in for 10 years and you feel like you can't go nowhere. Who am I talking to? Those are the clients I serve. Boss chicks, CEOs. You getting your money, paid in full, successful. But there's something that we're missing here. We desire love. We desire a relationship, marriage, kids. But every guy that I date is insecure because there's something deeper going on here. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Manifesting Sister Circle, February 22nd. Come on out. I think I got 4 spots left. 4? Yeah, 4. Somebody just booked this morning. It's a very intimate workshop. Very intimate. It's about manifesting the life you truly desire. Whether that's in love, career, Whatever it is. Whatever it is. Nope, definitely for the women. It's definitely a class for women. Yep. That's a population I serve. Okay, you guys. I'm going to go play sound bowl healing. Y'all know what I do. I play a sound bowl healing session each and every time. Expectations, release those expectations. The other thing that I want to talk about with expectations that's coming up for me, and I need to mention, is that we have a lot of expectations that we put on ourselves and that we put on others. And they're not the will of God. Let me say that again. We have a lot of expectations that we put on ourselves and that we put on others, and they're not of the will of God, right? They're not what God wants for us to happen. And so then we go about trying to force them to happen. We try to force them to happen, right? Because in my mind, I expected myself to be married at the age of 35. But here I am not married at the age of 35. So let me force myself into a relationship so I can be married to fit a timeline that I created for me that wasn't created by God. I'm going to force myself into this because this is how I saw myself. I saw myself married with kids at the age of 35. So why am I not married with kids? I created this whole timeline. In my mind, I thought that when I got in my 30s, I'd be married. I thought that when I got in my 30s, I'd have my dream car. I thought that when I got in my 30s, I would have a wife, kids, a great career. And here I am thinking about changing my whole career, thinking about letting my girlfriend go, my boyfriend go, because this isn't it. It's not God's will for you. That person's not for you. That job's not for you. That career's not for you. That house that you wanted to buy is not for you. But you saw yourself at the age of 30 being in a house, so you bought a house. Now you're house poor. Now you got things going on in your house. You're struggling. You're trying to... Who am I talking to? We put these high expectations on ourselves. We have these ideas that we want for our life to look like, and that's not how it was meant for our lives to look. And so when you begin to lean in, when you begin to become in alignment with God, you begin to ask, well, God, this is what I wanted at age 30. How come I don't got it? Got to tell you, well, there's a lot of work you got to do on this. And if I put you in this house and you got fear of money, you have fear of, who am I talking to? I put you in this house at the age of 30 where you're still in your lack mindset. Hello, somebody. You still have a fear of making money, a fear of asking for more money on my job, a fear of, you think you're going to be able to hold that house down and keep that house forever? If I put you in this relationship with this man who is perfect for you at the age of 35, and you haven't worked on your issues from that last relationship, the one that really broke you all the way down, you think you're going to be able to keep this man? Your insecurities are going to cause your relationship to fall apart and blow the fuck up. I'm not going to do that, my child. But you steady trying to stay in the timeline. I'm 35. Oh no, I want to get married. But you still got some personal work to do. That's why God's not allowing the marriage to happen. That's why God's not allowing the relationship to happen. That's why God's not allowing the house to come, the car to come, the money to come, you name it. What is it? What is it that we got to do a little bit more personal work? Because if God gives us the things that we desired at 25. Yeah, I wanted to be married when I was 23 years old. Isn't that crazy? I think about it now at the age of good old 36, tender 36, young stallion, tender 36. Right? I think about it now. If I would have gotten married at 23, who knows what my life would have looked like? I was not ready. I had so much, and I did a lot of work before I got married. Let me be honest, right? I did a lot of work before I got married. I stopped dating for 6 months before I got married, before I got serious about dating again. I stopped and I went to some severe therapy. I did a lot of work, a lot of personal work, all the way up. And I still wasn't ready. I still wasn't ready. And I'm trying to help somebody. If you're in a space right now where you are grieving, where you are in a season of grief, a season of sadness. Hey, Jazz, a season of, I don't know who I'm talking to. If you're in a season of things are happening, I am hurt. I am not myself. I am operating out of the little bit of energy that I have. If you're in a season of that, don't get in a relationship. Don't make any serious moves. Don't buy a house. Don't do anything serious that can affect your life in the long run if you're in that season. Allow that season to work its way out and for you to do your work in the process of it. Trust me. Trust me. And I know that because you're in a season of sadness, you're drawn to the men that make you happy, or the women that make you happy, or the whoever that make you happy. You're drawn to the things that make you happy. You're drawn to the things that allow you to get just a moment away, so I don't have to think about the sadness that I'm dealing with right now. But I promise you, when you lean into your sadness and you process, it's better for you in the long run. I know I'm going to save somebody's life with that. I'm going to save somebody from making a decision of being in a relationship with somebody when their heart is not ready, their mind is not ready, they're still dealing with some past stuff, some traumas, some things that if you do move forward in this relationship, if you do move forward in saying yes to this person on Valentine's Day, on Friday, because you know they're going to try. You spending Valentine's Day with me? Oh, that means we locked in, huh? Okay, twin. Right? Y'all know they gonna try. I want you to think about that. What space am I in right now? Am I in the space? Do I lack the capacity? Am I just using this person? Hello, I can be honest. Am I using this person right now? Am I, because I'm sad, because I'm lonely, because I'm, you name it. The list goes on. Y'all know. Think about it. Be intentional. Intentionality. Okay, we're being intentional. You guys, I'm getting ready to go over here. I'm going to play these sound bowls. When we're talking about expectations and releasing them, right, to lean into what it is that God truly wants for us, because that's when things really start to work out the way that they're supposed to work out. You'll know when somebody is for you and when somebody is sent from God, and when it's in divine order for you to be connected to them, when it's in divine order for you to be connected to that job, when it's in divine order for me to be connected to those friends, when it's God ordained, when it comes from above and from alignment, right? You'll know because you'll receive peace. Peace. That person will cause to give you peace. I have a really close sister, really close coaching sister. And we would get on the phone and talk about just life and catch up on life and all the above. And it would be late sometimes. We end up talking to, 1, 2 in the morning. This is my sis, right? This is my girl. A1 Day 1, my girl. Was with me when I started coaching, was with me when I started doing like severe healing. And when I started coaching you guys, I had to do some severe, almost take you out healing in order to be in a space where I can help others heal, right? Because I'm not just out here doing lip service. Everything that I tell you to be done, everything that I say will help you heal, I've done it myself. I literally have put myself through my own healing courses. I put myself through my own manifestation courses and have manifested my life. I know what I'm talking about because I do the work. I don't just talk about it. I be about it for sure. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you to do something I haven't done myself. Now, I do recognize that there's a lot of coaches that do. I do recognize that there's a lot of fakes and phonies. That is not I, said the fly. I've done the work. That's how I know how to speak to it. That's how I know what to look for. That's how I can be intentional about the different things that I say and that I do, right? I have a friend, really close friend, my girl, my sister. And we would get on the phone and talk, you guys, all types of times, just talking about our struggles and the things we're dealing with and keeping each other encouraged, right? Because I said we went through some severe healing in order to be in a space where we can be coaches, right? Spiritual coaches. We went through spiritual training, right? And we get on the phone for hours and she'd fall asleep. Be on the phone talking. We'd be talking about this and that. She'd fall asleep. Oh my God, I fell asleep. I'm like, what is going on? Are you okay? Like, are you good, sis? Are you? Yeah, when I get on the phone with you, though, I feel peace. I feel peace. You hear what I'm saying? That means when you're with your person, when you're with your people, when you're at your job, that's supposed to be your job, your career, your God ordained this for you, for it to happen. You should feel peace in the midst of it. And if you're not feeling peace, there's something wrong here. That is the direct sign that there is something wrong. I'm not feeling peace in this. Man, it's crazy. This relationship, at first it was cool. But now that we're starting to get in deep and I'm really starting to recognize who this person is and I'm really starting to go through this and ups and downs are happening and life is life. And well, this person doesn't make me feel peaceful when I'm going through life. This person kind of make me feel like I'm on my own when I'm going through it. This person kind of make it feel like we're not even really in a relationship. Hello, somebody. I thought these girls were my friends. I say girls because I've had a lot of clients that have had issues with friends. A lot of boss chicks, CEOs that have had a lot of issues with friends. You'd be surprised. Got all the money in the world, all the Birkin bags, and going on the travels, traveling all over the world, but don't have any friends. Right? There's something to that, right? We're getting involved with people who are not our people. Whether it be friends, whether it be relationships, we're involved and in deep with people who are not for us and have showed us a million times that they're not for us. Take the hint if that person doesn't bring you peace. And I'm not going to say that you guys aren't going to argue, because when we're in relationships with people, I told you guys we're being challenged, right? We're being challenged to be our best selves. So that person's going to challenge you. I'm not saying there's not going to be arguments. I'm not saying there's not going to be disagreements. What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, the baseline of your relationship, the baseline of your friendships, the baseline of your career, the baseline of the whatever it is that we desire of our hearts should be peace. 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 And if that's not it, then there's a problem. There's something going on. God is trying to tell you something, right? Come on, Suge Avery. God is trying to tell you something flat out. You don't have peace here. Let me be honest and say something really quick, because this just came up for me. If your church is not bringing you peace, that is not your church. That just came up for me. I don't know who that's for. Hear me when I say, if your church, y'all know, your church, your pastor, your spiritual guidance is not bringing you peace, it's not it for you. Feel free to move forward and find another space to worship, another space to be influenced, another space to get filled. Okay, that came up for me. Sorry, y'all. I'm going to go play. I still don't have a voice, y'all, so I'm definitely probably not going to sing. I told y'all I was Z-fying all weekend long. I had the performance. I was singing. It was a lot. It got real. And then I was yelling at Super Bowl party. You know how it is. When it comes down to expectations, releasing our expectations and getting in alignment with what God has for us, leaning into what God has for us, we're going to definitely focus in on the hurts of 417. We're going to focus in on the hurts of 435. Those are all the things to release stress, release fear, release guilt, release, because that's the thing that's holding us up, is the fear, the guilt, the shame, the trauma, the past, whatever. We're going to focus in on those hurts. We're going to focus in on those hurts and those pains. Alexa, go ahead and, Alexa, play my healing frequencies.
Healing Frequencies by Joe Ananda from Britney's Spotify.
That's the one that has 417, 436, all the above on it. You'll hear those hurts in the background as I do what I do. I'll play mainly focusing in on heart chakra, for sure, when it comes down to expectations. Because the desires of our hearts, right? That's where our expectations are, because we desire something so much in our hearts. So much in our hearts, the desires of our hearts. That's where we get these expectations from. And when you begin to lean into just ease and flow and peace of your life, well, then you start to see things start to open up for you. Things start to happen for you. Things start to work out. They start to become more in alignment. So I'll go over there. I'll play heart chakra for sure. Root chakra for sure. Because that's dealing with our fear and our guilt and our shame. Solar plexus. That deals with our expectations and our willpower, right? Some of us are so strong-willed on what it is that we want out of our lives. Let me say that again. Some of us are so strong-willed on what it is that we want out of our lives. We think we know, but we really don't know. We think we know all the things we want out of our lives, but we really don't know. Pray for me, little sister. Of course, I got you. All day, every day. That's easy said, without a doubt. I got you. We think we know what we want, right? Think we know. We think we know. We think we know. We think we know. You guys, things didn't start working out for me until I surrendered. I surrendered those expectations, those high expectations. I surrendered the ideas that I had in my mind about what my life looked like. I was one of those. That's why I can talk to you guys about it. I was one of those that was like, yo, I need to be married by 30. I need to have a baby by this. I don't want to have a baby when I'm older. That's not what I want. I don't want to be an old mom. I need to have a baby by this time. I need to be in my house by this time. And I forced that on my life. And here I am right now, a divorcee, right? A single mother. That's not how I planned my life. But that's what happens when you force things to happen, right? Wouldn't take my baby girl away for nothing. That little girl is everything. Could I have done it a different way? Yeah, but Lyric was meant to be here. She's part of my story. She's part of something that is beautiful that can come out of you still forcing things, right? So you're going to make mistakes until you get it, right? And that was my mistake of forcing things. When I had my daughter and I had my divorce afterwards, that was where I was like, this is a direct result from me forcing things to happen because I wanted it to be a certain way. I wanted it to look a certain way. And I had it looking that way for a while, y'all. And then it all imploded because I was forcing things to fit what my will was instead of accepting and surrendering into what God's will was for my life. And I hope that releases somebody today. You don't have to force it. You don't have to do too much. You don't have to overcompensate. All you have to do is allow ease and flow. Ask for the guidance, of course. Go to higher power and ask for the guidance. God, I'm trying to make this relationship work. Is this the one for me? Is this person even for me, God? I'm over here forcing things to happen and doing the most, calling them all the time, texting them all the time just so they can be connected. I'm over here acting out my trauma and things that I dealt with in my past and putting stuff on them. I'm over here doing the most because this is the expectation and the desire of my heart and I want it to happen, but is this person even for me? Is this career even for me? Is this life even the one that you want me to have? Because 9 times out of 10, if you're feeling some unreadiness, right? That's what we say. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. If you're feeling any unreadiness, y'all, if you're in a sorority, you know what I mean. If you're feeling any of that, there's something going on. Maybe it's not the person for you. Maybe God's trying to show you in a bunch of different ways that it's not. By not having that peace. By feeling like you got to overcompensate. By feeling like you got to, why does it feel like I always got to call them? They don't never call me. Why does it feel like every time we get on the phone, they always talking about themselves? They ain't never talking about me. They don't have no desire to talk about me. There's no interest in me. It's not a 50-50 here. It feels like, I don't know. I would just say be intentional. There's something to look into when it comes down to that. There's something to look into when it comes down to that being shown. When it comes down to you feeling that. Yeah, pay attention to that. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your mind. Just like you'll do when I do the sound bowl healing session. Pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your mind. 2 things to be intentional about. What is it that I'm releasing? What is it that I'm receiving? Every time I do a sound bowl healing session. What is it that I'm releasing? What is it that I'm receiving? Right? If you want to receive just peace. God, give me peace over what it is that I'm doing in my life. Show me, God. Open my eyes to what's happening. Open my eyes to the trauma, to the pain, to the hurt that I need to work on in order to get the desires of my heart. Show me the things that you have for me to do. Because a lot of the times what's happening is we get in these relationships. And you know, I told you I was talking about relationships. We get in these relationships, right? And they don't align with who we truly are. No. They align with who we are in that season. Right? But if you're healing and doing the healing work, right? Just like with me and my ex, I was hurting. And he was hurting. And so in that season, his hurt was attractive to me. Because I was hurting. Right? You see what I'm saying? Whatever you have going on inside of you comes out of you. And allows you to attract that as well. So you got hurt and hurt. So his trauma, his hurt, his pain, that was attractive to me. But then when you end up being with somebody and forcing something together, because you wanted it to happen so bad, because it fit your timeline about being married at the age of 30, about having babies at the age of 35. It fit your timeline, so you forced it to happen. And then you start to do your personal work, and you start to heal, and you start to grow, and the glow up is real. I said the glow up is real, right? Because that's what I went through. I healed myself. I went through a lot of stuff. I went to trauma therapy. I specifically did things to become better, a better person. And so because when that started happening, I was no longer attracted to his toxicity. I was no longer attracted to his hurt and his pain. Do you hear what I'm saying? A lot of the times we're forcing ourselves into these situationships, to these relationships with these people who are no longer going to fit, what we are attracted to in 3 months down the road, 6 months down the road. But you want it so bad right now because you're so attracted to it right now, where you're at, where your hurt and pain is telling you you're at. You're so attracted to that person and what they got going on that 3 months, 6 months down the road, you're no longer going to be attracted to that person. And God is trying to stop that from happening, but you're trying to force it. Who am I talking to? I've done that millions of times. Most of my relationships, trauma bonds. Because I was attracted to the fact that you had a horrible childhood too, and I had a horrible childhood. So you understand what it's like when you can't depend on your family. So you understand what I'm saying, that I got to do it on my own. So you understand, oh, you see me, I see you. But that's because I haven't healed that part of me yet. So then when I start to heal that part of me, what you got going on is no longer attracted to me. I'm no longer attracted to the trauma bond. I'm no longer attracted to the toxicity. I'm no longer attracted to the trust issues that you have, because I don't have trust issues anymore, because I've healed my stuff. You haven't done your stuff. And what that's going to cause you to do is reflect from me too. What is TikTok making me do? Said I had to do a puzzle piece. I guess they thought I was a robot. Anyways, y'all understand what I'm saying? Y'all hear me when I say it? Okay, I'm going to go play. We're focusing on the heart, focusing on chakras. Heart chakra, root chakra, solar plexus. Yeah. Know that when you do a sound bowl healing session, even if this little mini session, it's only going to be like 5-7 minutes, you guys. It's about how long that I usually play. 5-7 minutes, just a mini session. In a real one-on-one session, if you do want to do a one-on-one session, I do them via Zoom, and I also do them live if you're in Atlanta, or if you want to fly me out to wherever you are, we can do that too. There's a fee, obviously, a mobile fee. But I do sound bowl healing sessions one-on-one. I do them in group settings as well. If you have a bunch of ladies, I do them. I love doing group sessions. It's fun. It's amazing. It's beautiful, which is what I'll be doing at Manifesting Sister Circle on February 22nd. You'll have a group session for sound bowl healing, but you'll also be able to utilize the different techniques that I use to manifest the things that have happened in my life and the things that are happening in my life right now. Being an entrepreneur, being a coach, being a healer, an energy healer, all of that has been manifested. And it's in alignment with the will, with God's will for my life, which makes it peaceful and calm and loving and all the things, right? Because it's in alignment. That's why I speak to this thing, because I truly know what this thing looks like. Peace. You may have a reaction. Your body may feel discomfort. You may have repressed memories that come up. You may have some sadness. You may have some emotions that are coming up. Some things that you have been pushing down, so far down, keeping yourself from dealing with and working out, that come up. That's the beauty of sound bowl healing, is that it's going to touch the different parts. It's going to loosen up that energy, and it's going to allow whatever is not supposed to be in there to come out, which a lot of the times is our toxicity, our traumas, our hurts, our pains, our bad memories, our stuff that is causing us not to move forward in our lives. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go play. And we'll be back. Ooh, my foot. All right, if you are on this live right now and you are doing this sound bowl healing session with me, I need you to go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose and out your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose hold it out your mouth. Deep breath in through your nose. Hold it out your mouth. All right, let's do this. That's what we're doing, God. Surrounded by your safety. You only want what's best for me. I'm surrounded by your safety. You only want what's best for me. Surrounded by your safety. Hey y'all. We thank y'all for joining me on today's live, showing up, giving me your energy, sharing with me. I appreciate it. Love you guys as always. Love you guys. And I'll be on tomorrow a little earlier. I've been on very long this time, so I'm gonna release you guys, let you guys get to what you do. Have a beautiful Tuesday, and I'll see you later. Bye y'all.